So a few days ago, I made a video talking about the Yandere simulator situation, and due to the video's length, I didn't want to go so far into it that I wanted to cover more in this one. One of the things being Alex's response, which it's not that good to be honest with you, it's far from it, but I want to go over that. I want to go over more about the origin of the story. Some of the screenshots that were shared at the last video, I wanted to do some clarification on that, and just a whole bunch of things. This is going to be a jam-packed episode of Dragon Ball Z where we're going to kind of go back in time, rewind, to sort of see the origin point on where we are today and how this actually really blew up, because I didn't really go over it in the last video and I really want to on this one. So first, let's start with the elephant in the room. Are the Discord screenshots real? I honestly cannot tell you. To me, it seems like things that Alex would say. I'm not gonna lie, but at the same time, anything you see on the internet can be fabricated, it can be fake, it can be falsified. The one thing I will say is the actual conversations from Snapchat, those are actual legitimately real, and those aren't photoshopped, and that's the real story and how this all kicked off. And that is information that I want to make clear for this one. Now, the YouTuber who originally posted this information, how this all got started, was from Ali MCC, and the victim is Jane. That is the person that you see in the Snapchat screenshots. And so originally what happened was this video was up and then it got taken down at the request of the victim, but now as the recording of this video is back up due to the victim being okay and giving the approval to let the video be back up. And then for those that are curious, this is the screenshot that Ali provided with their conversation with the victim, giving the approval to have the video back up. That is also the same reason why the view count is low. This is why it's 9 days ago. Why this predates pretty much all videos going over the entire situation now, but this is the original point of source and this is where it all started. And the thing is, this whole rabbit hole is really deep. I honestly can't lie to you. This is some fucking deep ass lore. I am trying to connect all the dots, connect all the pieces, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm probably not gonna be able to even connect them all correctly in this video. I'm trying my hardest, so bear with me. But if you have more information, if I get something wrong, just let me know in the comments below, and I'll try and add like a pinned comment and add updates to it as time progresses and I find more information in the comments. But this video is what kicked everything off. I will share some bits and snippets from it, and I will put a link in the description below so you can check it out later. I'm not going to share all of it. I want that video to actually get its views as well too, because there is a lot of information in that video. So some things to remember before I play these clips is that Jane is 16 years old. She is a minor, and that these conversations are real, and these are actual voice recordings from her conversation with Alex, or aka YandereDev. So it's not good. Listen.
I have a question for you.
Question.
I want you to like call off guard or anything.
Go ahead.
You talk to other girls, man.
No.
Okay.
Wouldn't it make me a bad guy if I did?
It would make me an upset person if you did.
You'd be upset?
And then it's just like not like in a serious way, just like, you know. Oh.
Am I a bad guy for talking to you? Should I stop talking to you?
No, you should stop talking. Well, I mean, like, you should, but please don't. Just, like, you know, pause. I like your company.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Do you think you can call like this more often?
Maybe. I had fun. You're funny. It's fun to listen to talk.
Why from the high next time? I just make it.
I would also be very interested in interacting with you when you are regular. I want to learn what regular you is like.
Okay.
But high you is very cute and fun.
So just listening to that clip alone is already pretty rough as it is. And this is the same guy that had a whole debunk page, which I never really went over, but you know what? I will share a little gem of information that I can't make this shit up, dog. So for those that are unaware, I'll put a link in the description below, but this is an official debunk page that Alex has for his whole, or I guess lore, if you will, his whole backstory on every single piece of controversy that he's been a part of that he wanted to debunk on his own and say, y'all are wrong. You're not looking at this shit correctly. And so one of the, there's a lot of things in here, you know, I'll read off some of these wild headlines, if you will. YandereDev wants to kill his parents. What the fuck, man? YandereDev told someone to delete themselves live on stream. YandereDev has an account on an embarrassing website. So these are some of them, but the one that I really just wanted to bring up real quick, because it's been a hot topic now talking about him speaking with minors and shit like that, is this one. It says Yandere wants to abolish the age of consent and replace it with a sex license. And so he says, in short, because the motherfucker writes Bibles for everything, he said, One day in 2014, I received hate mail from someone who was offended by Yandere Simulator. It was actually the very first time anyone had ever sent me hate mail about Yandere Simulator. Because I felt attacked, I started arguing with the person who sent the hate mail. They said, your game is creepy because the characters are underage. And I responded, the age of consent is different in every country. So does that mean the game is only creepy in some countries? Dog, you're going way too far in these arguments, these debaticles, if you will. You're trying to, you know, find ways to say, oh, well, hey, see, you're not looking at it from this point of view. And this is what I said in the last video. Anytime there's a situation where Alex is pushed against the wall and he's having to try and justify all his actions or the things he was caught in, he's like, oh, wait, buddy, you're not looking at this correctly. Let me show you. You need to look through your third eyeball and then you'll actually see the real truth, because everything you've been seeing is just lies. When in reality, no, you're just a fucking weirdo, and after everything that's come out recently, a criminal. So Alex continues by saying, the reason why I responded this way was because I wanted to feel like I was slapping them with a witty comeback. I wanted to be a contrarian towards them purely for the sake of being contrarian. Okay, buddy. I was pursuing the sensation of, haha, I got him. They must feel really stupid right now. To cope with the fact that I received hate mail, I wanted to feel like I had defeated the person who sent the hot mail. And so in this paragraph, Alex just says he wants to be a contrarian just to be a contrarian. He likes to do the I got him thing, pretty much the same shit he set up there. But then he says, eventually the conversation somehow turned to the topic of abolishing the age of consent. This was the first time in the conversation that I actually felt like we had arrived at an intellectually engaging subject. Some people mentally develop at different speeds than other people. This means that one age of consent doesn't work for everyone. For example, some people might have been mentally developed enough to have sex at age 18, but other people might not be mentally developed enough to make that decision until age 19 or 20. For this reason, the concept of age of consent is slightly flawed. I really can't even believe this is an argument or even really something that is being pondered, but let's keep going. He said it was an interesting hypothetical thought experiment. So I actually put a bit of thought into it. If the age of consent had to be replaced by something else, what would it be replaced with? Instead of selecting an arbitrary number to permit people to have sex, what else could you do? Well, it would be convenient if there was a machine you could place your head on that would scan your brain and determine your current level of mental development. If this machine was 100% accurate, then it would be able to objectively determine whether or not a person is ready for sex. Again, you know what? To be honest with you, conversations like this just make me say, what the fuck? In what universe does this just go through someone's mind? To just have like actual, I guess, hypothetical, what did he say? Hypothetical thought experiments to even come up with shit like this, or even entertain thoughts like this. This is just some weird fucked up shit, if I'm just being honest. But I did just want to share the website and this excerpt in particular, because it gives you a really good look at who Alex really is, even though he might say that he doesn't view it this way and this is all just narratives being portrayed that aren't actually accurate. I don't view it like that. Realistically, we all know that there probably is a decent amount of truth to these posts that he's saying isn't true.
So it's like the ratio of the bust compared to, yeah, okay. Yeah, you're very skinny and that's kind of hot. Sorry, am I a bad guy for saying that? Should I go die?
No.
Am I a bad guy?
And I can see where they got the idea from, but with context, it's not.
Yep, that's my life right there.
And so after listening to that conversation, you probably wonder what on God's green earth are they even talking about? Which, to give context, was Jane asked Alex if he would ever start OnlyFans, and then later Alex asked Jane, which she started OnlyFans when she turned 18. And then they started talking about body types and shit like that. And honestly, it's just a terrible conversation all around. From everything that I've read up to this point, the conversations that Jane was having, she was just trying to do some of the most craziest shit. I couldn't really tell you for sure. These are the things that I have read and seen, just trying to see statements and the conversations that were supposed to be officially from her, and why the questions that she asked were the questions that she asked. But I honestly couldn't tell you. You happen to know more, let me know in the comments below. And regardless of how weird the question is, Alex even entertaining and saying shit like, oh, you're hot, to a minor. You shouldn't be saying shit like, you shouldn't even be talking to a minor. Like, I can't fathom that. And that's really like, no matter, because there are people who like say, well, you know what, Jane is asking some really wild questions, and so she put Alex on, put him against the wall, and so he had to answer this stuff. First of all, he didn't have to even be on this phone call. Second of all, he didn't have to even answer anything. He shouldn't be in this phone call. He shouldn't be doing any of this. But he is, because he wants to. I don't know why it's so hard for people to grasp that. And then for people who are wondering if these conversations are real, or, oh, maybe it's just AI generated, they do show proof that the conversation is real. Alex is from his actual Discord profile. They have a screen recorded that gives you everything, which I'll show you now.
Hello there.
How are you?
It's an average day for me.
No, the official ages are 18, but like, is it high school?
No, it's a post-high school academy.
Huh. So how old is everyone?
Everyone's 18.
Is like 18 or like 18 plus?
Everyone in the, well, I mean, there's like adults, like the teachers are older than 18. The headmaster is like 60, but all the students are 18.
Oh, that's weird. I feel like high school age makes more sense.
It would make more sense, but then everyone would complain, oh my god, the characters are under 18, so I have to contrive a story that makes them over 18. Or 18.
Because everyone gets so mad about kids. Because, like, you can't sexualize minors. I mean, you can't disagree with that without sounding like a creep. There's nothing I can really say about that.
Mother Nature sexualizes minors. Puberty starts to give breasts and wide hips to children before they turn 18. It's not like, you know, a person does it to a child. The child's own body does it to themselves. It's not like an adult can go to a child and cast a magic spell that gives them breasts. Haha, I've sexualized you. I gave you breasts. And the child is like, no. No, the child just does it. The child's body does it automatically. A child gradually becomes an adult over time because of puberty.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Doing it. What, does it sound silly when I freeze it?
It sounded really silly.
But it's true, though.
So that's the last excerpt that I just want to show real quick. And anyone at this point who still defends this man, you got skeletons in the closet. There is something that you were hiding and you were upset that now it's coming to light for one person that you happen to like for a very long time. And now you're like, oh, fuck. Well, hey, you know, maybe no. You're just as much of a criminal as he is at this point. So you need to be checked. You need to have your whole home checked. This motherfucker said Mother Nature sexualizes minors. Who the fuck says shit like that, man? Like, that's just wild to see someone say out loud. The fact that this is something that runs through his mind and it's like, hey, you know, what's wrong with that? That's logical, like, thinking, right? There's logical process. What's wrong with y'all? How do y'all not see that? Because we're not fucking weirdos. We're fucking normal people and we don't view shit that way. That's why. Like, I'm not even gonna go on anymore. Anyways, you can check out more of the voice record in the description below. I have a link to the video. Now I want to move on to the main part, is the apology or the moving on part that he posted a couple days ago. I want to go over it a little bit more in depth and just sort of get my own opinions and thoughts on it. So I want to go over this real quick. This is the original apology, if you will, that came out September 25th, that Alex was doing his whole, hey, you know what I did was wrong. It's fucked up, blah, blah, blah. So a part that I overlooked was this part. Says, for what it's worth, I would like to make you aware of the fact that the fan I spoke to has expressed her feelings on the situation. You can find her post here. So pretty much what Jane was saying here, or allegedly was saying, was that she didn't support all this information coming to light and that she was just trying to bait Alex to give answers and all this other shit. And then I was reading more into this, and apparently this shit wasn't correct, and that there was actually a whole nother part to this. And there's so many moving parts. But for the people who have been working closely behind the scenes, working with the actual victim herself, Jane, a TikTok user by the name of Deceptive Kami actually made a post 3 days ago going over the situation with the victim and what their actual real response was to this entire situation. I'll play that for you now.
YandereDev's victim has finally spoken out. She has given me full permission to amplify her message. First and foremost, she wants everyone to know that she has been secretly supportive of everything that Ali, Bug, and I have been doing in public. She felt the need to hide this support because she felt threatened by Alex. Behind the scenes, not only was Alex having Jane help him field questions and write apologies for him, but he was also getting her to retract statements with threats of legal action so that he could dodge accountability for what he had done. But the good news is that Jane has cut ties officially with Alex. We want to thank everybody for their concern and filing police reports on Jane's behalf. However, Bug, Ali, and I do have it handled behind the scenes, so there's no need for anybody else to be making these reports. They're just starting to clog up the report system. But the most important thing is that Jane is currently safe. The only reason she made those statements against Ali was because of fear. But now we just need help amplifying her message so that as many people as possible can hear it.
And so that confirms that the statements that you're seeing right here from the actual victim herself, Jane, these weren't actually her real thoughts and opinions. These were just things that she was being coerced into putting instead of what she really felt and what she really wanted to say. So luckily, this has all now been cleared up because it's fucking wild. And the fact that she had to write the apology, I'm assuming it's this one right here, or help with it, that is fucking insane. It would make sense now as why too, why this is actually now put here, because with Alex trying to manipulate the victim and then trying to get her on his side and try and make her retract statements, then he considered me like, oh, see, look, she wasn't really, haven't tried anything negative against me. I wasn't really doing anything wrong. See, even the victim says it. And so then it removes any blame from him, and then he doesn't have to feel any guilt. It's all fucked up. It's extremely fucked up. But now let's move on to the highlight of today, which is his actual response, which is his moving on post. So he says it right here. I've been exhibiting horribly self-destructive behavior on a regular basis for a long time now. As a result of many conversations I've had over the past few days, I think I can pinpoint the cause. My downward spiral is the result of consistently making incredibly unwise lifestyle choices that have caused my mental health to deteriorate massively over time, which is probably 100% true, and at least he acknowledges it and recognizes it. Didn't hit me until recently just how bad things had gotten. Hadn't left the house since July 2019. No real life acquaintances, 16 hours plus on the computer every day, no vacations in half a decade, prioritizing work above my physical health. It shouldn't be a surprise whatsoever that when you allow your body and mind to completely waste away, you dissolve into a mistake machine, a person that is capable of nothing but bad decisions who exist solely to cause problems for others. Now, I think this is a stretch. Hey, maybe I'm naive as fuck, all right? Maybe I'm just super fucking naive. Even if this shit, you happen to just not do anything for a long time, that you just happen to be, I guess, online all the time, or you just don't go and meet people out in real life, I still don't think that if you did all this, you're all of a sudden now just going to snap into a mindset of say, it's fine talking to minors. That's cool. It's all right. What's the problem, dude? I don't think that happens like that. No. Now, does your physical and mental being get affected? Sure. I can agree with that 100%. But I think this is just a saying as, oh, well, see, guys, it's because I didn't take care of myself. That's why this happened. I just didn't. I stayed home all the time. And hey, it happens to everybody. There's other people who probably are doing the same thing, just like me, that just haven't left the house. No, I think that's just you trying to sit there and justify how you got to this conclusion of why your actions are the actions that they are. That's personally how I see it, dog. Like I said, if you don't take care of your mind and body, yes, you will probably lead to some unhealthy decisions, probably drinking or doing this or doing that. But again, I don't think that if you go down this dark path of that Alex is speaking of that he's done and making it sound like other people have done the same shit, I don't think it's just going to lead everybody to say, hey, fuck, I'll just start talking to random minors online and have a blast and start saying some wild shit. No, you've been like this for a hot minute. Your debunk page proves that, because that shit goes way back to the end of time itself for when the game was starting to develop. And you've been updating it over the course of years. So yes, while he can be right to an extent that, doing all this shit, not leaving your house, all that can have an effect on it, I don't think that what he's trying to make this seem like as like a justification on how he turned into this mistake machine, and that anyone who does this, you're going to become capable of nothing but bad decisions who exist solely to cause problems for others. I feel like this is just trying to spin it in a specific way to fit his own story. Since the last blog, a lot of people reach out to me, share some advice, see a therapist, get hobbies that don't involve a computer screen, step away from game development for a few months. All can be summarized to start making healthy choices that will turn you into more of a normal human being. And I can't argue with that. I'm glad that you recognize that, but realistically, you could put some handcuffs on in jail. But that's just my opinion, and hopefully soon it'll become a reality with the developments that are happening behind the scenes from people that have filed police reports. From Ali and the Decepticami, they spoke and said that they're working on this behind the scenes, and a police report has already been filed. So we'll see in time what happens with that. And so this is a point that a lot of people are harping on, and I think rightfully so, because this is just really out of pocket. And why are you mentioning this? He says, this might sound like a really random time to launch an anecdote, but I'd like to mention something really quick. Recently, somebody messaged me to tell me something. A few years ago, when his girlfriend was on the verge of deleting herself, she sent me a fan mail. I responded to her to thank her for her kind words. Apparently, this cheered her up so much that she stopped thinking about deleting herself. She's still alive today. He just wanted to tell me, thank you for saving my girlfriend's life. And so a lot of people are like, what the fuck does this have to do with anything, dog? What does this have to do? What, do you want a pat on that? Congratulations, man. You helped out somebody. Which, hey, that's fine. Everybody likes a W like that. If you can help prevent someone from ever deleting themselves, that is always a good thing. But what purpose does this have to put in here other than to try and make people feel, give you brownie points, right? Be like, oh, well, all the other shit, we know it's fucked up. But hey, it's a good thing that, you saved someone's life right there, Alex. Like, yes, we're all grateful. Like, we all understand that that's a good thing overall, but that doesn't detract from the fact that you are still a criminal and that your actions are horrible. Like, putting this in here does not seem like the right time, right place to put this, or even at all. That is kind of more like something you just keep to yourself. This feels like a more of, hey guys, see, I do good things. I'm a great person. I stop someone from deleting themselves, instead of it being like a genuine message to be put in this apology or moving forward, as he calls it. And so he continues by saying, I keep thinking about the story and the other stories like it. Times when someone reached out to me, let me know that I cured their depression or saved their life. These stories make me feel like I have the potential to affect the world in a positive way, but it's only if I stop making such dumb decisions all the time. Dumb is putting it lightly, dog. You've been making horrible, awful, terrible decisions. Dumb is just, that's lightly. That's putting it extremely lightly, dog. And I can only stop making dumb decisions if I get healthy. And the only way to get healthy is to start making healthier life choices, starting with going to see a therapist. Turning yourself in. But let's continue. If I want to do more good than harm to the world, I have to get my head straight. That might involve spending less time at the PC, less time on the internet, and less time developing the game. A lot of people have been asking me about my recent controversy will cause me to stop developing the game or give the game away to another developer. I'm not ready to answer those questions. I would need to do a tremendous amount of thinking before I can make any monumental decisions like that. I really enjoy working on Yandere Simulator. If I didn't, I wouldn't be willing to do it continuously for 9 years. The thought of taking time away from it makes me incredibly sad. But neglecting absolutely every aspect of my mental and physical health has caused me to devolve into danger to myself and others, and that's not something I want to be. I don't want to step away from development, but perhaps I should, at least long enough to decide the best way to proceed from here. And that is the best statement ever. You should really step away and reevaluate everything. And honestly, genuinely, I think everyone can agree on this. Get some fucking help, because you need it. You desperately need it. And from everything I showed earlier in this video, it sounds like you're really way off the mark, man. Like, you're sitting there manipulating the victim, trying to get them to write you apology letters, trying to sit there and get things spun in a way where you're not really seen as much of a bad guy. That's just sad, man. It's really disappointing. And so pretty much the rest of this just saying that he got a lot of messages from people that were either harsh, a lot of them, and then some people saying, hey man, I don't want to see the game end. I want to see be finished. You need to get better, yada yada yada. He don't want to let his fans down for giving them 9 years of attention. He says I owe them answers, I owe them satisfaction, and owe them closure. He says I don't want to cancel the game, but I want to keep development, but I don't think I can do it if I keep being a mistake machine. I need to find a much better work-life balance because the current balance of 100 to 0 has led me to nothing but a severely damaged psyche and behavior that is as destructive to others as it is myself. Can't guarantee next time I write a blog post. I'm not sure when the next blog post will be. A big announcement, a bug fixing build, or something completely different. It's hard to tell what the future is going to hold, but I just want to let you know that I won't be posting frequently as I previously was, or updating the game as frequently as I was. Either all the steps I need to take to become a better person involve spending less time in the chair and more times outdoor. During my time away, I'll be spending a lot of time thinking about how exactly I should proceed from this point forward. I'll be considering all possible options, even the most uncomfortable ones, such as reducing the scope of the game to make it into a project that would be much easier to finish with the limited resources and the absolute last resort of holding off development to someone else. And he says, for what it's worth, for what it's worth, hey, I apologize. Hey, gee, silly me, for what it's worth, I am sorry, guys. I didn't mean for it to have to get to this point, but I am sorry for it. This doesn't really focus on the victim. The last post didn't really focus on that either. It was just more like, whoa, what are we going to do about this game development, guys? I'm so sorry that, we can't really get this completed. That's really, it's just let me down. What should really let you down is the damage you have caused and the actions that you've gone about handling this entire situation. Again, you know what? And just for the sake of this, allegedly, sure, right? Because nothing is ever, I guess, 100% ever concrete whenever it comes to the internet. But I do 100% believe Jane and Decepticami and everything that has come out, because they have shown proof for everything that has led up to this situation. So personally, I believe when they said Alex asked Jane to write the apology and then try to retract statements so that it would put him in a better light, which again is very fucked up. Anyways, I've gone on long enough. If you made this far into the video, consider giving a like, subscribing to the channel. Leave me a comment below what you think. Have a great day. Yeah.